Here's your wrestling news for March 7th, 2026. Your headlines for today include Drew McIntyre shockingly drops undisputed WWE title after referee issues, major injury scare for Jordynne Grace ahead of SmackDown, Jade Cargill push causing tension in women's locker room, Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley handshake sends hidden message on SmackDown, what really happened with Royce Keys ahead of SmackDown, CM Punk spearheaded WWE signing of a recent star, surprise challenger steps up to Carmelo Hayes' title open challenge, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss become #1 contenders on March 6th SmackDown, major heel turn teased on SmackDown, and more. The March 6th episode of SmackDown closed with a huge main event as Cody Rhodes challenged Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. The match quickly turned into a back-and-forth battle between the two former champions. Momentum shifted multiple times throughout the contest, with both men even landing each other's finishing moves, but neither could secure the victory. The chaos escalated when referee Charles Robinson was taken out during the action. Rhodes hit a crossroads that should have ended the match, but there was no official available to count the fall. As Rhodes tried to call for another referee, McIntyre capitalized and delivered a Claymore kick. Despite the brutal impact, Rhodes managed to kick out, leaving McIntyre stunned. Frustration began to take over for McIntyre. Instead of focusing on Rhodes, he confronted the referee and struck the official with a Glasgow Kiss headbutt. Looking to end things, McIntyre grabbed a steel chair, but the situation took another dramatic turn when Jacob Fatu suddenly appeared and knocked the chair away. The distraction allowed Rhodes to catch McIntyre with a quick roll-up for a near fall. McIntyre quickly regained control and connected with a future shock DDT before lining up another Claymore. This time, Rhodes avoided the move, countered with a super cutter, and followed it up with another crossroads to finally secure the victory and reclaim his WWE Championship. The two stars have known each other for years, and that familiarity showed in a physical, high-energy main event that many fans viewed as one of the night's highlights. With Cody Rhodes now holding the championship once again, the potential showdown between the two former stablemates adds a fresh layer of intrigue to the event. Meanwhile, McIntyre may now shift his focus toward Jacob Fatu after the interference that cost him the match. Now the big question heading into WrestleMania is this: should WWE stick with a one-on-one match between Orton and Rhodes, or turn the situation into a fatal four-way involving McIntyre and Fatu as well? Regardless of how the final match is structured, many fans believe Randy Orton could emerge as the favorite to leave the event as the champion. The speculation largely centers around the possibility of Orton capturing his 15th world title, a milestone moment that would carry major historical significance. With WrestleMania traditionally serving as the stage for WWE's biggest moments, some believe the company may opt for a dramatic title change rather than having Cody Rhodes simply retain the championship. A victory for Orton would not only add another chapter to his legendary career, but also create a headline-grabbing moment on WWE's biggest stage. An unfortunate situation may have unfolded for Jordynne Grace during a recent WWE taping. The incident reportedly happened during a match against Alba Fyre that was recorded for WWE Main Event ahead of this week's episode of WWE SmackDown. While the match itself continued to a finish with Fyre picking up the victory, things quickly took a concerning turn afterward. According to fans who were in attendance, Grace appeared to suffer an injury during the bout. Medical staff entered the ring to check on her following the match, and those watching live said it looked like she may have hurt her knee or ankle. Reports from the arena suggested that Grace was unable to put weight on the injured leg and ultimately had to be helped out of the arena. Grace later acknowledged the situation herself with a brief comment on X, posting a short message that hinted at the circumstances. Well, at least there was already a wheelchair waiting. The timing is especially unfortunate as Grace has recently been gaining momentum since arriving in WWE after building a strong reputation during her time in TNA, where she became a standout champion in the Knockouts division. At the moment, there has been no official update on the severity of the injury. For now, fans and observers will have to wait and see whether WWE provides further information on Grace's condition in the coming days. The recent social media exchange between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley created a wave of discussion among wrestling fans, and a new report suggests the criticisms seen online may reflect opinions that already exist behind the scenes. Writing in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Dave Meltzer addressed the situation and clarified that the online confrontation was not considered a legitimate shoot, despite speculation from fans who believe the tension might have been real. However, he noted that the criticisms directed toward Cargill during the exchange were similar to comments he claims to have heard privately from several members of the WWE women's roster. Well, this was not a shoot, no matter what people tell you, because WWE forbids that type of thing from its talent on social media platforms. The reality is that what was said about Cargill was almost identical to what several other women talent have told me over the past year, really starting after the Shayna Baszler and Cargill confrontation went public. That reference points back to a previously reported backstage situation involving Shayna Baszler in March 2025. According to earlier reports, Cargill confronted Baszler about a bruise on her arm and criticized her in-ring work, which reportedly prompted a sharp response. "If I was shooting, you and I would both know." Meltzer also wrote that some frustration among talent may stem from the belief that Cargill's push has been driven largely by her appearance rather than her in-ring or promo work. "It's natural with the resentment of her being pushed while not being good in the ring or anything special on promos, but completely due to her unique look." He added that some wrestlers reportedly feel they have not received similar opportunities despite believing they are stronger performers. "Most of the women believe they are better and didn't get the same chances, which leads to resentment." The situation continues to fuel debate among fans as they try to determine whether the online confrontation was simply part of WWE's storytelling or a moment that unintentionally reflected real locker room tensions. Do you think the Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley social media exchange was purely storyline driven, or could it hint at genuine frustration backstage? Let us know your thoughts. Back to SmackDown as the rivalry between Cargill and Ripley intensified during a face-to-face segment on SmackDown as the two stars continued building toward their WWE Women's Championship showdown. The confrontation began with what appeared to be a respectful handshake between the two competitors. However, some viewers believe the moment carried a subtle layer of tension beneath the surface. During the broadcast, actor and well-known wrestling fan O'Shea Jackson Jr. shared an observation on X that quickly caught the attention of fans. He pointed out that Cargill initiated the handshake using her left hand, which he suggested could be interpreted as a sign of disrespect. Let it be noted that Jade extended the left hand to begin the convo, a common sign of disrespect in the black community. #SmackDown. Beyond the handshake, the verbal exchange between the two stars was intense. Both women delivered fiery promos, each confidently declaring themselves as the top force in that division by stating that they are that bitch. The segment further raised the stakes for their upcoming clash, adding another layer of personal tension to what is already shaping up to be one of the most talked about matches heading toward WrestleMania. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. Royce Keys has been a frequent topic of discussion in recent weeks, and a new update provides more insight into what he was doing behind the scenes before the March 6th episode of WWE SmackDown. Although fans are still waiting for his official television debut, Keys quietly competed in a match against Rey Fenix during tapings for WWE Main Event prior to SmackDown going live. The match took place before the broadcast began, giving Keys another chance to perform inside WWE's production environment as the company continues preparing him for a future on-screen role. In the bout itself, Fenix ultimately picked up the victory. With this latest appearance taking place off the main broadcast, it appears Keys is still working behind the scenes while WWE determines the right moment to introduce him properly on television. Danhausen was featured tonight on SmackDown alongside The Miz and Nick Aldis, but there appears to be a major backstage influence that led to Danhausen's WWE signing. According to a report from F4W Online, CM Punk was instrumental behind the scenes in helping push for Danhausen to be signed by WWE. The two reportedly developed a strong friendship during their time together in All Elite Wrestling, and Punk believed the unique character would fit well with WWE's roster. That belief appears to be paying off quickly. Since making his debut, Danhausen has already become one of WWE's top merchandise sellers in less than a week, a strong early indicator that his unusual persona is resonating with fans. With Punk advocating for his signing and early business results looking promising, Danhausen's arrival may prove to be one of the more interesting additions to the WWE roster this year. Carmelo Hayes continued his run of open challenges for the WWE United States Championship this week on WWE SmackDown, and this time the response came from outside WWE. Before the match, SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis revealed that challengers from all over the world had been contacting him hoping for an opportunity. The call was ultimately answered by El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. from Lucha Libre AAA Worldwide. Although Wagner has previously appeared on WWE NXT, this match marked his first singles appearance on WWE's main roster. The challenger made an immediate impact once the match began. With a noticeable size advantage and surprising speed, Wagner controlled much of the early action and forced Hayes onto the defensive. The bout provided a refreshing crossover moment showcasing AAA talent on SmackDown. It also highlighted Wagner's potential, suggesting WWE management clearly sees value in him, and it wouldn't be surprising if he eventually becomes a more regular presence. Despite Wagner's strong performance, Hayes once again proved why he remains one of the standout performers on SmackDown. Wagner even kicked out of Hayes' first 48 finisher, keeping the match alive and drawing a strong reaction from the crowd. However, momentum shifted when Wagner attempted a moonsault and missed. The mistake gave Hayes the opening he needed, allowing him to capitalize with his finishing move to secure the victory and retain the United States Championship. The new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Nia Jax and Lash Legend opened the show in celebration mode after capturing the titles from Rio last Friday. Confident and unapologetic, the duo bragged about their victory while standing near the stage as pyro exploded behind them. To cap off the moment, they brought out champagne and prepared to toast their success in front of the crowd. However, the celebration did not last long. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss quickly interrupted and argued that the only reason they previously lost the championships was because Jax and Legend constantly inserted themselves into their matches. Their confrontation soon grew more crowded as Julia and Kiana James arrived, making it clear they also had championship ambitions. The situation prompted Nick Aldis to step in and restore order. The SmackDown general manager announced an immediate tag team match, strongly hinting that the winners would move into future title contention. When the show returned from break, the match was already underway. Flair controlled the early momentum, taking the fight to both opponents before being driven into the ring post. The bout ran through 2 commercial breaks, giving all 4 competitors time to showcase offense despite a few minor miscommunications. In the end, Charlotte Flair sealed the victory for her team by delivering natural selection to Julia. SmackDown also featured a tag team Turmoil match designed to determine the next #1 contenders for the MFTs Tag Team Championships. Several teams stepped up for the opportunity, creating a gauntlet-style contest where survival and momentum played a major role in determining the outcome. The match opened with Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking on Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. Frazier and Axiom managed to secure the first elimination, but their momentum did not last long. Angel and Berto entered next and quickly took advantage of the exhausted duo, eliminating them to continue their run. Angel and Berto then faced Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, representing the Wyatt Six. Once again, Angel and Berto found a way to advance, eliminating their opponents and moving deeper into the Turmoil match. However, the Wyatt Six situation became even more complicated when Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa appeared, interfering and costing them the match, signaling that their rivalry is far from over. The final stage of the contest saw Damian Priest and R-Truth enter the match. With Angel and Berto already worn down from multiple eliminations, Priest and Truth capitalized on the opportunity and secured the final victory, earning the #1 contender spot. Despite several entertaining moments, the match lacked the excitement many expected. Part of that may stem from the tag division's inconsistent booking in recent months, which has made it harder for these matches to feel truly high stakes. The absence of the Street Profits, who've barely been featured lately, also stood out as a puzzling omission. Later in the show, Johnny Gargano declared it was time for him to become Johnny Wrestling again and issued an open challenge. The challenge was answered by Oba Femi, who dominated the bout and secured another decisive victory. Meanwhile, tension continued to build around Sami Zayn, who was shown throughout the night venting frustration after his failed conversation with Cody Rhodes, hinting that a major character shift could be coming. That's a quick recap of SmackDown this week, guys. What did you think of the show? Which segment stood out the most to you, and why? Sound off in the comments below.